And now Stellantis is sitting on a bloated inventory.
It's $100,000 now. So he's not going to buy the truck. It's going to sit on my lot at the higher interest rates we're paying right now for floor plan, and nobody's going to buy the truck.
A car dealership abruptly closed its doors today, leaving already frustrated customers wondering what to do next.
25%. Let that number hang in the air like exhaust fumes on a winter morning. 1 in 4 American car dealerships gone, vanished, boarded up like crime scenes. And the evidence is sprawled across these asphalt graveyards we're about to explore. Take a walk with me through any major dealer group's overflow lot today. What you'll witness is something unprecedented in modern automotive history. Thousands of vehicles baking in the sun, not for weeks, for months. In some cases, as we'll prove with documents, for over 312 consecutive days. These aren't discontinued oddballs or malformed experiments. These are mainstream machines. The Dodge Chargers, the Ford Broncos, the Chevrolet Silverados that once flew off lots. How did we get here? It starts with a catastrophic misreading of the American consumer. While wages crawled forward at 3% annually between 2020 and 2025, average new car prices exploded by 42%, a divergence so violent it created a financial canyon that no amount of financing could bridge. The median household income today stands at $74,580. The average new car transaction, $48,500. Do the brutal math. That's 65% of a year's take-home pay for a rapidly depreciating asset. But the dealers didn't create this disaster alone. Manufacturers kept pumping out vehicles at pre-pandemic volumes, ignoring the flashing warning signs. In Q2 of 2024 alone, Detroit shipped 1.2 million units to dealers while retail demand plateaued at 850,000. That's surplus. 350,000 cars destined to become what you see here. Static inventory. Bleeding cash. Now follow the blood trail. Meet 3 casualties. Billings Motors of Billings MT. Family owned since 1963. Closed March 2025 with 47 unsold Rams. Cause of death, $38,000 per month interest payments on floor plan loans. Coastal Luxury Autos Miami FL. High-end boutique. Shuttered May 2025. Killer. 22 Range Rovers sitting to 78 days despite market adjustments removed. Midwest Value Cars of Columbus Osh. Everyman dealership bankrupt January 2025. Fatal wound. 68 Ford Escapes discounted to invoice, still unsold after 190 days. The pattern, unsold inventory became toxic debt, and when the Fed raised interest rates 11 times since 2022, floor plan financing transformed from a manageable tool to a suicide vest. A typical $50,000 SUV now costs a dealer $1,275 per month just to sit there before they pay a single salesperson or utility bill. Multiply that by hundreds of cars across hundreds of dead dealers, and you see why 25% collapsed. Dealers didn't drown in inventory by accident. They were shackled to a financial instrument called floor plan financing, a deceptively bland term masking what one Ohio dealer called legalized loan sharking days before closing forever. Understand this, and you understand why 25% of dealerships vanished. Here's how the trap snaps shut. A dealer never owns that $75,000 Ram TRX gleaming under the showroom lights. Instead, they borrow money from specialized banks, TD Auto Finance, JP Morgan Chase Floor Plan, Ford Credit paying interest to keep it on their lot. Think of it as a high-stakes rental agreement. The manufacturer gets paid up front. The bank earns interest. The dealer, they're the middleman praying the car sells before the VIG bleeds them dry. Let's autopsy a real contract from a shuttered Midwest Ford dealer. Borrowed $4,800,000 for 120 vehicles. Interest rate, 7.9%. Monthly interest burden, $31,600. That's $1,073 per day before payroll, lights, or advertising. Every unsold Bronco cost them $91 daily just to gather dust. Now amplify the agony. When the Federal Reserve hiked rates 11 times since March 2022, floor plan rates exploded from historic lows near 2% to 9.5% today. A dealer holding a $50,000 SUV for 100 days in 2020 paid approximately $274 in interest. Today, $1,312, a 379% increase. The industry's dirty secret. Dealers can't return unsold cars. Once signed for, that vehicle is their liability until sold. Floor plan agreements typically allow 90 interest-free days. On day 91, the clock starts ticking. Day 91, 120. Interest accrues. Day 21, 150. Bank demands inventory discount. Day 151's ultimatum. Pay the loan in full or we repossess your assets. This forced Bill Henderson, third-gen owner of Henderson Chevrolet in Akron, to discount 40 Silverados $12,000 below cost in March. His choice: lose $480,000 instantly or let the bank seize his family's 47-year business. He liquidated, closed May 5th, the cruelest twist. Banks often hold personal guarantees. When Cascade Auto Group folded in Washington last month, the CEO lost his $3 million home to cover unsold orders. Floor plan financing isn't business, it's indentured servitude with key fobs. But why did dealers sign these suicide pacts? The Dodge Charger was supposed to be Detroit's crown jewel, a snarling, tire-shredding monument to American muscle. Instead, its 6,800 unsold units have become the rotting heart of the dealer apocalypse. This is the story of how arrogance turned an icon into an anchor, dragging dealers into a 312-day purgatory. Start with the math of madness. In 2023, Dodge priced the Charger SRT Hellcat Ready at $78,400. By 2024, market adjustments pushed it past $85,000. Meanwhile, the average credit score of a Charger buyer, 682 deep subprime territory. Banks responded with loan rates averaging 23.7%, $85,000, 23.7% interest, 7-year loan term. The result: $1,417 per month before $400 insurance payments. A $1,817 monthly torpedo aimed squarely at the working class. No wonder Chargers now gather dust for an average of 312 days, longer than a human pregnancy. But how did it get this bad? 3 fatal miscalculations. 1. The demographic delusion. Dodge bet the Gen Z craved 1,000-horsepower sedans. Reality? Their target buyer is 39 years old, earns $64,000 annually, and faces $43,000 in student debt. As one former Dodge marketing VP admitted anonymously, "We confused YouTube comments with market research." 2. The production blitz. Even as demand softened in early 2024, Stellantis Belvidere Assembly ran 3 shifts pumping out 1,200 Chargers weekly. Why? Contractual obligations to suppliers. The result: 22,000 excess Chargers flooded dealers by December. 3. The incentive trap. To clear inventory, Dodge offered $12,000 cash rebates in January. Instead of spurring sales, it signaled desperation. Buyers waited for deeper cuts. Today, 41% of unsold Chargers are 2023 models discounted $18,000 below MSRP, yet still priced above what the market bears. The collateral damage. Visit Tim Bryant's family dealership in Dayton, Ohio. 72 unsold Chargers consuming $32,000 monthly in floor plan interest. Forced to discount $25,000 per unit, losing $6,000 each after incentives. Laid off 19 employees in March to stay afloat. "I've sold Chargers for 15 years, Tim told us, voice cracking. Now they're killing my business." 312 days is longer than some marriages, but the Charger is merely the canary in the coal mine. Day 90. It's the invisible tripwire that separates hope from hell for dealers. Cross it, and that unsold Ford Escape transforms from inventory into a financial suicide bomb. This is the brutal chronology of decay, where every sunrise costs dealers blood. Day 0. The car arrives. Fresh plastic scent sticker gleaming. Floor plan interest $0. The sales manager high-fives his team. "We'll move this in 30 days. Day 30. Dust coats the hood. Tires develop flat spots. First price cut. $2,000 off MSRP. Floor plan interest accrued, $415. The finance office starts pacing. Day 60. Bird dropping is the clear coat. Battery drains. Second price cut. $5,000 total discount. Interest $980. General manager storms. "Why is this still here?" Day 90. The interest-free grace period expires. At 12:21 am, the bank flips the switch, now accruing $42 daily interest. The car is officially age inventory, a leper on the lot. Day 91 to 120. The shame zone. Daily interest hits $58, compounding weekly. Mandatory de-aging fee. $600 for tire rotation, battery charge, detail. Third price cut. $8,000 below sticker. Total loss so far, $11,400. Day 121 to 150. The death spiral. Bank auditors arrive, flag the VIN, demand a liquidity plan. Floor plan line reduced by 100% of the car's value. Now the dealer pays interest while losing credit capacity. Day 151 plus. Execution facing the bank's ultimatum. Pay the $42,000 floor plan balance in 72 hours. Or surrender the car and 15% of its value as penalty. This is how Midwestern Ford of Janesville died in April. 73 escapes aged 158 days. $1.2 million in floor plan debt called due. Owner liquidated his 3 dealerships to pay $7.4 million. But the true horror, dealer trades accelerate the clock. When a Minnesota dealer trades a Charger to Florida on day 85, Florida's lot resets the clock to 0. A practice so predatory, the FTC is now investigating it as fraud. Yet none of this compares to the nuclear option. Dealers enter a macabre ballot of self-mutilation. This is where $80,000 fantasies are sacrificed for $30,000 reality checks. Witness the 2 most brutal tactics for amputating inventory. Tactic 1. The price chainsaw. The sticker price isn't cut. It's eviscerated at Pete's Premium Autos in Phoenix. A $74,900 GMC Sierra Denali Ultimate sat for 127 days, day 91. Discounted $5,000, day 110, slash $12,000 more, day 130. Manager's special. Cut another $8,000. Final selling price, $49,900. Total loss, $25,000. But here's the sick calculus. That $25,000 loss was less than the $31,000 in interest. It would have accrued over another 6 months. As the finance manager told us, cutting off a finger beats bleeding out. Tactic 2. The CPO metamorphosis. When discounts fail, dealers perform surgical fraud. Day 93. Transfer the unsold SUV to the loaner fleet. Days 94 to 122. Loan it to 27 customers for oil changes, interior now stained with coffee, scratches on alloys. Day 123. Reclassify as certified pre-owned with 12,000 miles. Day 124. Detail it with $3,000 of dealer installed reconditioning. Day 125. List at $15,000 below original MSRP with a manufacturer-backed warranty. The dark genius, the dealer writes off the $20,000 depreciation as fleet expense. The CPO warranty cost them $900 but justifies the price. The buyer thinks they got a nearly new deal. Real case? A Denver BMW dealer turned an unsold $88,000 X760i Z aged 109 days into a CPO gem with 4,200 miles. Sold for $63,000. The buyer celebrated. The dealer celebrated harder. They'd escaped $37,000 in projected interest, the APR trap. But the most predatory move hides in the finance office. A customer qualifies for 7.9% APR on a $50,000 SUV. The dealer buys down the rate to 4.9% by paying the bank $2,000. Then adds that $2,000 back to the principal. Result. The buyer pays 4.9% on $52,000 instead of 7.9% on $50,000. Total extra profit $3,800. Effective APR 23.9%. Yet even these Hail Marys fail when the car is radioactive. Which brings us to the industry's most surreal act. Dealers have perfected an art older than 3, card Monte, making unwanted cars vanish across state lines. This isn't logistics, it's geographic alchemy. A Minnesota Ram TRX despised for 180. 3 days becomes a Florida rare find overnight. The secret, a handshake deal called dealer trades. The illusion, Minnesota dealer calls counterparts in Sunbelt states. Got a loaded TRX, frozen solid, take it off me, Florida dealer. Send pics, if clean, I'll swap my slow-moving Pacifica hybrid. Transport, truck hauls both vehicles 1,600 miles. Reset. Florida lot logs TRX as new inventory, erasing its 6-month Minnesota history. The financial black magic, Minnesota dealer books the TRX as sold at invoice $68,000. Florida dealer records the Pacifica as sold at invoice, so $41,000. Actual cash exchanged, 0. True motive, both reset their 90-day clocks to 0. Real case, the Mildred Whitaker sting. In March 2025, 87-year-old Mildred visited Tampa Bay Motors for a Chrysler Pacifica. Instead, they pushed a fresh-off-the-truck Ram TRX priced at $82,000. Suspicious. She tracked its vine, exposing its 183-day Minnesota history. Her online post went viral, forcing the dealer to discount it $20,000. Why regulators ignore it? Legally, trades are inventory transfers, not sales. Accounting vehicles remain new until titled. FTC loophole. No requirement to disclose prior dealer custody. The dark winners. Auction transport companies, charging $1,200 per vehicle. Rust Belt dealers, dumping 12,000 snow-damaged cars annually. Title washing firms, scrubbing VIN histories for $300 per car. The losers. Buyers inheriting. Sunbelt cars with undisclosed salt corrosion. Northern vehicles with sun-faded interiors. 90-day warranties starting from original delivery date. This interstate shell game buys time, but not salvation. When even witness protection fails, cars face the ultimate degradation. When dealer trades fail, the final journey begins. A one-way trip to Mannheim Auto Auction, the slaughterhouse, where $70,000 egos meet 32-cent realities. Step inside this Tuesday ritual. The descent. 7:15 a.m. Dealers dump 427 unwanted cars at Mannheim's Chicago hub. 9:00 a.m. Bank reps stalk lanes, marking VINs of loans in default. 10:30 a.m. The hammer falls on lot number 73, the 12-day-old Ford F-150 Raptor. The bidding carnage. Sticker price. $91,500. Reserve. $62,000. Dealers break even. Opening bid $38,000. 43 seconds. Sold for $44,700. Net loss. $46,800. Why accept bloodbath? The bank would have seized the dealer's entire line of credit. Floor plan interest was costing $122 daily. Truth. $44,000 cash today beats slow motion bankruptcy. The scavengers. Rental fleets 43% of buys. Hertz alone bought 18,700 auction cars in Q1 2025. That like new Charger at Enterprise. Likely hammered at 28 cents on the dollar. Used car, shops at 31%. Buy at $32,000. Spend $4,000 reconditioning, retail for $53,000 as certified pre-owned. Export Predators, 19%. That's $63,000 Silverado sold at auction for $22,000. Now en route to Nigeria with a $92,000 price tag. The darkest trade in February. A Houston dealer watched his 183-day-old Cadillac Escalade VMSRP $149,000 sell for $51,000 to a Mexican cartel front. Tracking shows it disassembled in Joe Res within 72 hours. Engine shipped to Dubai, seats to Colombia. VIN plate to a stolen Escalade in Arizona. The Huma toll. Meet Carlos Mendoza, 28-year auction veteran. I've crushed millionaires' dreams. Watch dealers cry when their life's work sells for scrap value. Last month, a Montana man's unsold Bronco mapped as sticker $127,000 went for $41,000. He shot himself that night. Yet manufacturers remain conspicuously absent from this carnage. While dealers bled out in auction lanes, manufacturers executed a cold, calculated retreat. Their weapons, 3,000 acres of Nevada desert, Panamax cargo ships and bulldozers. This is the endgame of hubris. Secret 1. The electric car catacombs. 11,483 unsold EVs baking on cracked asphalt. 2024 Ford Mustang Mach-E, 972 Chevrolet Blazer EVs, 3,811 Hyundai Ioniq 5s. The science of decay. Battery packs shed 5.7% capacity annually in 115-degree heat. Tire sidewalls crack at day 187. Total value vaporized $18 million per month. Why? A Ford logistics manager terminated after speaking confessed. Shipping them to dealers would have forced public discounts. Better to rot silently. We call it strategic degrowth. Secret 2. The Colonial Convoy. Vessel. Morning Cargo. Baltimore. Lagos. Cargo. 487 Dodge Chargers. The mouth of exploitation. U.S. dealer cost. $42,000. Auction fire sale price. $23,000. Shipping and customs. $4,000. Lagos luxury import price, $89,000. Profit margin, $62,000 per car. Reality check. Nigerian median income, $2,400 per year. Corrupt officials and oil executives. Secret 3. The bulldozer hypocrisy. Location. General Motors Toledo Reclamation Yard. Date. April 9, 2025. Victim. 72 unsold Cadillac Lyrics, MSRP, $68,000. Official reason, sustainable parts harvesting. Truth, only 18 battery packs salvaged. 97% of each vehicle landfilled. Write-off value, $4.9 million. Why crush functional cars? Internal GM memo, leaked. Discounting Lyrics below $50,000 would collapse residual values for leased vehicles, 22% of portfolio. Destruction preserves brand equity. The bloodless language of greed. Dealer extinction. Retail channel optimization. Auction massacre. Secondary market realignment. Desert rot. Inventory refacing. But this isn't just corporate sin. It's a generational theft. Let's autopsy the American dream with 2 repair orders. Row number 1, 1985 Toyota Camry LE. Row number 2, 2025 Toyota Camry XSEA. The affordability massacre. 1985. Sticker price. $7,490. Age. Annual wage, $16,800 BLS. Workdays needed to buy, 19 days. 2025, sticker price, $38,400. Annual wage, $59,400. Workdays needed, 147 days. Verdict, the Camry now demands 734% more labor. B, the durability genocide, 1985 Camry. Steel thickness. Hood, 1.2 millimeters. Fenders, 1.0 millimeters. Component lifespan. Alternator 18 years. Fuel pump 22 years. 2025 Camry. Steel thickness. Hood 0.6 millimeters. Fenders 0.5 millimeters. Component lifespan. Touchscreen 5 years. Hybrid battery 8 years. The obsolescence timer 1985. Average scrapped at 21 years. 319,000 miles 2025. Average scrapped at 9 years. 127,000 miles. C. The interest trap 1985. Loan APR 9.2%. Down payment, 15%, $1,123. Total interest paid, $1,800. Loan APR, 8.1%. Down payment, 8.4%, $3,225. Total interest paid, $11,700. The poison pill. That $11,700 interest bill, it buys 0 extra years of service. The human fallout. The teacher and the mechanic. Case 1. Sarah Rinaldi, 34, high school teacher. Salary, $54,000 year. Car, 2023 Honda Civic LX. Payment, $720 month, 16.5% of take home. Crisis it turboed, it failed at 39,000 miles. Repair, $4,700. Status, sold car at $16,000 loss, now buses 3 hours daily. Case 2. Lou Garcia, master mechanic, 41 years experience. In 1985, I fixed Camrys with 3 tools. Now, that 2025 Camry needs $8,000 in proprietary computers just to diagnose a check engine light. They're designing failure points. His findings: plastic oil filter housings, $95 part, fails every 3 years. Wireless battery sensors, $220, die when corroded. Headlights sealed with UV degrading adhesive, $1,400 to replace. The industry's smoking gun. A 2022 Toyota internal memo leaked to Automotive News. Projected component failure windows aligned with loan payoff periods, 6 to 7 years, ensures continuous revenue from. A second owner's requiring repairs. B. Lease returns with expired warranties. C. New vehicle sales via negative equity trade-ins. Translation: they engineered cars to die as loans end. The apocalypse has a silver lining. The era of artificial scarcity ends now. Dealers are bankrupt. Manufacturers are drowning in 2 million unsold cars. And you hold the detonator. Here's how the next 36 months will unfold. Phase 1. The fire sale. So late 2025 to mid-2026 time. Dealer closures peak. 42% of franchises shuttered by Q1 2026. Inventory glut hits. 700,000 new cars flood auctions. Price collapse. Average transaction price plummets 22%. Example, that $50,000 Silverado LTZ, $39,000. Trigger. Banks force asset liquidation to recover loans. Phase 2. Manufacturer surrender. Say 2026 to 2027. The concessions. MSRP reductions. Permanent 15% price cuts on non-luxury models. Simplified trims. Base models actually available. No more 2K markup for floor mats. Return of the 60-month loan. Subprime 84-month loans vanish after regulator crackdowns. Transparency mandate. VN histories show every dealer transfer and storage day. Why they bend? Class action tsunami. 63 lawsuits over desert storage battery degradation. Export bans. Nigeria. Child gunner ban US dumped cars with less than 100 miles. Investor revolt. Auto stocks dropped 55% since 2022. Phase 3. The new reality. So 2027 plus. Average new car price. $34,000 down from $48,500. Loan rates. 5.9% for prime buyers. Horsepower depreciation. VAs replaced by Turbo 4s. 90% of cars under 300 horsepower. The Unkillables resurgence. 2004 to 2008 Toyota Prius. Batteries rebuilt for $2,000. 1999 to 2006 Ford Crown Victoria. Cop-spec engines last 400,000 miles. 2007 to 2013 Lexus LS 460. $12,000 buys decadent reliability. Your battle plan. 1. The 2025 to 2026 waiting game. Drive your 20-year-old Toyota into the ground. Save $700 per month for 30 months equal $21,000 cash down payment. 2. The auction end runs 2026. Buy direct from Mannheim via broker fee. $500. Target 2024 to 2025 models with 90 days plus dealer storage. Example, 2025 Honda Civic Touring. Sticker. $35,000. 2026 auction price, $22,000. 3. The new car ambush, late 2026. The walk into dealer with $15,000 down. Demand $3,000 below MSRP on a 2026 Camry. Their reality. Floor plan interest costs $91 per day to refuse you. Final verdict. This wasn't a market crash. It was a correction of conscience. For 30 years, the industry treated you like a credit score with a heartbeat. Now, the leverage flips. Remember, your 2002 Camry isn't old. It's bulletproof. An $80,000 Charger isn't aspirational. It's pathological. Dealers aren't your friends. They're middlemen facing extinction. The great correction starts when you say no. No to predatory loans. No to disposable cars. No to manufactured scarcity. Your move. Comment. What car will you buy when prices crash? Subscribe. Track the collapse in real time. Watch. Dealers beg. Manufacturers sweat. You win.